My next guest is taking it a step further than that, getting set to introduce a bill that would aim to block President Biden's student loan forgiveness plan. Tennessee Republican Congressman Scott DesJarlais joins me now. Congressman, good to see you. And many people were up in arms. The Biden administration argues essentially that it's stimulative to cancel student loan debt. You say it's not because it takes the debt and it shifts it right over to the taxpayers. People were up in arms about this $5.8 billion that the president wants to forgive for the Corinthian colleges, and we don't know. It's a slippery slope how far this can go.
Yeah, totally agree, and that's why we're speaking up, and we've had great feedback since Fox first released this story that we're trying to hold students accountable for the debt that they took out. You know, most people who went to college knew they were taking a risk. They knew what their interest rates were. They built in a plan to pay these back. But now what Biden's proposing in the face of sinking poll numbers is some way to attract the younger voter for the elections this fall, and burdening the people who did it right and the people that are working now and paying their taxes is certainly the wrong approach in the eyes of most Americans.
And what concerns me the most is in this inflationary environment where we talk about the administration and much of the spending that got us here, even though it wants to blame Vladimir Putin and Russia's assault on Ukraine right now for the problem and the mess that we're in. It really has to do with a lot of the spending. So many people sit back and say, how is it possible that you could be proposing to spend more right now?
Right. I mean, we're looking at record inflation and gas prices that we've never seen before in our lifetimes. You go back to the Jimmy Carter era to see this type of financial trouble. And we've got 1.6 to 1.7 trillion in student loans. And just having a blanket forgiveness is absolutely the wrong answer because, as you mentioned, a slippery slope. Why not payday loans? Why not people who got underwater on auto loans or house loans? Or what about all the people that start small businesses? They don't always succeed, but that's the risk you take. So especially with student loans, you're making an investment in yourself. You're taking personal responsibility, and you know what you're getting yourself into. So if the government's going to be bad parents and try to give an easy way out, that sounds good for the people on the receiving end. But for most of us, it flies in the face of how we were taught and raised and how to manage our own money.
But many people agree with you, Congressman, that you've got the midterms around the corner and a lot of trouble on this administration's plate. And so this is one way to try to appeal to part of the base and also fulfill campaign promises, et cetera, ahead of those elections. So we'll see what happens there. But great to see you. Thanks so much for laying that out for us.
Yeah, thanks for having me on.